Now the weather's changing, so it's a little bit nicer day here today. We get outside and thought we ought to dig out the rear bumper. I don't know really if the original TCs came with bumpers or not, but this one had a front and rear bumper, and it's really not very sophisticated. Looks like a piece of spring steel, really, and it curves around on the end. A couple of mounting brackets, and of course we've got a place for the number plate, and then we've got a couple of lights here, and that's our primary interest, to get these lights off of here and see if we can rehabilitate them. This one looks to be knocked a little silly, and the chrome is definitely not the best. Probably we'd take these housings and scuff them down, and rather than play around, I think maybe we'll just paint them body color. But for the time being, we'll get some wrenches and take those lights off this panel. One thing I haven't figured out, and it's probably not going to be too complicated once we work on it, is whether this bumper hangs. You see we've got some mounting brackets here that go on the frame rails, and I have to determine whether the bumper hangs down or sticks up. Going to be interesting. A little tricky to put this on in the shop right now, because where the car is, there's not a lot of depth, and it just makes it a little more complicated to get around the car. So we'll have to wait till we actually get the thing outside and have some more space to see which way it goes, downside up or upside down. But let's get those lights off for right now. We got the first one off. It is a genuine Lucas light made in England. That's this nice little bit of braiding here where the wire comes through. You know, this was a car. This car was exported, built for export to Belgium or someplace, so it may have come with bumpers originally. We'd have to do a little bit of work on that, but we're gonna have to try to see if we can clean these lights up. Certainly we'll do something with them. Now we move back inside. Get a spot here. Our only remaining flat level surface. You can't have a flat level surface in your workshop anywhere without stuff being piled on it. Just so we have this little corner that we reserved. By the way, in the previous video we talked about the washers, the sealing washers for those drain plug, and I managed to scrounge around, dump the trash barrel out. I was so angry. Managed to find the original seal, and of course it was in two pieces, but here we kind of put the pieces back together. You can clearly see the difference in those two washers and the job they're supposed to do. This one sealed the plug up, that one doesn't seal anything. But this one, of course, quite a bit thicker, and for some reason I kept talking about the OD. It's the ID that was the problem. The ID on this one is too big compared to this one. So I don't went back and watched the video, and I thought, OD, it's not the OD, it's the ID. Anyway, I digress. Our job today is the tail light, and it's kind of an interesting piece. Got a little screw here, a couple of mounting bolts, nice braided, steel braided actually, covering over the wire, but it's got a hinge here which I am most likely certain that is rusted, so we'll have to lubricate that a little bit. And then it appears to have a screw here. We'll take that out and open that up and see what we find. Get some we'll get some stuff. You gotta have stuff. We were at the bearing shop the other day and managed to get a can of stuff. Crawl penetrant, and boy, this is some good stuff. Lots of good stuff out there, but this is something that we like, and we get it whenever we can. So we'll spray a little bit of that on that hinge and let it soak there for 30 seconds or so, because we're impatient. We can't wait. And see if we can get this screw out in the meantime. Yeah, at least that's not tight, rusted. We'll put it right here so that the next time we go to look for it, we won't have any idea where it is. Well, that's interesting. Looks like we may have had some creature living in there. Hard to tell. All kinds of crap in there. But it did open right up, which is good. Our hinge, see how good that crawled? Man, it worked that quick. It just worked. But certainly our lenses are knocked askew. This one got a clip here that holds it in place. See if we can get that clip up out of there. Oh, there we go. I just needed a clip removal tool. Huh. Okay. There's the clear one. There's the clip. Probably never get it back together. There is the red one, and that's a glass lens. And of course we have a little gasket around the edge of that lens that is not in very good shape. Maybe a bit of Hucky Puck RTV will seal that up. And we have our wires here that don't seem to be too bad, and ideally we've got some rust in there, and another, I don't know if that's, must be a gasket there, but we'll try to get that cleaned up. And I don't know, we can perhaps, it's a double filament bulb, so good for brake and tail light. Now, this car wouldn't have had turn indicators. Get that cleaned up a little bit. A lot of people, of course, add turn indicators these days because they're required, but we won't worry about that. The ideal thing to do here is to hook some power to this thing and see if the light can light. So we've got the ground, of course, and the hot. And these two terminals here are the hots. And then, of course, the framework ideally would be the ground. This particular mounting stud here would ideally be the ground. Let's see. I don't see if we can get our power source over here and get that to work, or maybe we'll take that over to the power source. Might be easier. So we got our power source over here connected. One side, doesn't matter positive or negative for these. If it was LED, it would certainly matter, but incandescent doesn't matter. So we've got a ground there, and we'll just take, and we've got, look at that, that would be more than likely the tail light. And oh yeah, there you go, the brake light is the bright one for sure. So really, after all these years, And I mean to tell you, that's probably 40 years. The bulb is good and everything is good, so we'll clean up the housing, and I think realistically the chrome is gone on that, and I think the best thing to do is to paint that body color. Well, I should have considered this, but I think that housing might be stainless. I'm not sure. It certainly had some corrosion, and still does, but a little bit of work on the wire wheel certainly made it look a lot better. I don't know. Now I'm a little reluctant to paint it. We'll get some fine steel wool here. I think it probably is stainless, truth be told. And sure hate to paint something like that. The paint probably won't stick very well anyway. But maybe best just to work with the patina that we have. And I don't know, at the end of the day, I'm not an expert on stainless, but I don't know if we could actually sand those rusty spots smooth and then polish the stainless. I might just try that, because certainly going to look a lot tidier if they're nice and shiny. Might try sanding down here on the bottom edge, just to see if we could sand that rust smooth. And but man, that's that's a big difference from a few minutes ago. The other thing we're gonna have to do is this metal. That's almost like the cabling that's around the the throttle cable and starter cable. I don't know about that. Whether we need that metal braiding. We've got some shrink tubing and some other stuff we could put on there, probably a little better. We're gonna have to cut this back anyway, and then it's certainly floppy in the housing here. It doesn't do any good to have that big opening in there that, you know, everything can get in, moisture, water, whatever, creatures. So we'll do a little work on that as well. Keep examining this thing, and here you can see we've pulled the wire back through. This is one of the light wires, and the insulation is completely brittle and gone. So what we have here is a bare wire, and it's actually a solid wire. It's not a stranded wire. And so then it must have a little bullet on the end that plugs into that. Probably both of these do. We're going to have a good look at this and probably rewire this whole thing before it's all done, because that's certainly not good. I don't know if it's had a short there and then gotten hot and melted itself, or exactly what's happened there, but that is no bueno. So here we have the harness out of the deal, and it's like I thought. We have these little bullets, and the wire just goes up through the little bullet and then returns over. So hopefully we can save them. The one that I thought was a solid wire appears to be a stranded wire, so that's just maybe here. I don't know what this solid is here. Maybe just the final bit of insulation inside something else, but we'll put some new wires in there. Oh, we cleaned up our lens. We got some some stuff here. I have no idea what it is. K2 Universal Cleaner Detergente Lucidante Universale. I guess it's some kind of Italian stuff. Believe it or not, this came from, this was some leftover inventory from when the Formula One teams were here in America. Years and years ago, I had a whole case of it. I have no idea what it is. Pio Brillante, Allegrini, something or other. All the directions are in, well, I should say they were in Italian, but it says Universal Polishing Detergent. So there's some, cleans everything. So anyway, we're still using it. We never throw anything away here in the backyard, and it cleaned our lens up really nice. We're just going to have to suss out the decal, or the little gasket, and I think what we'll do is we'll put that in there with some Hucky Puck and Bob's Your Uncle. Okay, so we've rewired this light, a couple of new wires here, brown for the running lights, park lights, tail lights, whatever you want to call them, and then the green for the stop light. And we had this bit of wire conduit, some plastic, but fit into that hole quite nicely. So we'll just let the wires run along here till we figure out what we need, and I'll probably put a couple of disconnects on this end so that these lights can be taken off without having to cut the harness when we're all said and done. But that ought to give us a working light. Now we just have to do the same thing for the other one.